Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's the second match stream for Resurrection Cup 2024 in the round of 32. Bobik versus Mannheimer Among Us. My name's Taikini, and joining me today is Subaru Arima. Subaru, how are you doing?
Thank you for this introduction. I'm doing very, very good. Thank you, and very, very happy to be here with you to cast this match as you introduce Bobik versus Mannheimer Among Us. Seeding-wise, probably not the closest match we're getting. Bobik being seeded fourth out of qualifiers, so looking probably like the more dominant team in this matchup, not gonna lie. However, a lot of noticeable players also on Team Mannheimer. It's an entirely German team with mostly German 4 digits and 3 members of the 4-digit World Cup team for Germany. Those being, I believe, Lion, Vlad D, and Shiragi, and also a few other noticeable players. I know that in their 1v1 tournament, Bundesländer Battle, both Mort and Luki went pretty far. Minoji as well with a noticeable performance. So on this earlier stage, I hope they could probably pull something off. You know, like since this is a much lower star rating pool than the qualifiers, I'm hoping for at least 1 point on their side. But yeah, you look at those players on the left side of the screen, it's looking very, very dominant.
Yeah, it gets scary. That's a reality of these early winners bracket matches where someone has to go to losers bracket, right? So you have these really stark seeding differences in these initial matches until you get to around the seed 16 versus 17 area. So these players, you know, it's not going to be the easiest match in the world for Mannheimer Among Us, but you know what? I want to believe. I've always been a believer. As you said, low star rating in the pool is incredibly beneficial for this team. You know, it's an off talk about strategy where for a lower seeded team in a tournament match, there is a large focus that you should be placing on picking maps that you perceive as very easy intentionally, because of the sort of the way that it might come down to like an accuracy difference and a little bit more of a chance for you to win against the higher seeded team that is obviously going to take huge advantage of their skill cap. And I imagine that's going to be a lot of the strategy that Mannheimer Among Us is picking into today to try and get some points on the board. For Bobik, it's going to be the exact opposite. It's going to be, you know, let's look at what all of us can very, very comfortably do. Let's go for the highest skill cap maps in the pool. And basically, like, all Bobik needs to do is guarantee themselves a tiebreaker, because that is, like, the win condition as far as skill cap goes.
Yeah, I definitely would agree on this take, and as you pointed out, so very, very skill capped team, like a skill cap focused team on Bobik's side. Notable appearances are players like Sproul, of course, participant of the Corsair's Close tournament, which he performed honorably and is, of course, notorious to be one of the, if not the highest skill cap tournament in an OC year. So, yeah, very, very noticeable player. But if you look around on the other players of the team, you have like Antonio, who is a Spanish player who is, of course, notorious for his consistency on lower map pools, lower star rating map pools. And Rap GPO as well, very, very noticeable Ukrainian player who's distinguished himself in OC World Cups recently, in recent years. So it's not going to be easy for Team Mannheimer Among Us to get a point even on those, as you said, lower skill cap maps. So it's definitely looking like an uphill battle in this match. And also, noticeably, Team Bobik having a very, very dominant performance on the Hard Rock pool in qualifiers, getting the 3rd seed on both Hard Rock 1 and Hard Rock 3. So at least I think that Team Mannheimer have very obvious bans looking forward in this match.
Yeah, I would never even like think about letting this team play Hard Rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially like, you know, I look at a player like Scroll and I'm like, I would be terrified to let him touch like Hard Rock, anything with aim control. So yeah, there's a lot to think about as far as that mod. kind of hand in hand with hard rock. If you can play good hard rock at such a high level, you can
Yeah,
probably play good BT as well. And that is also something that Mannheimer Among Us is probably gonna have to avoid.
yeah, and you look at those Russian players on this roster, Team Bobik, because we mentioned Scroll, but also Welter, noticeable presence for the hard rock roster, of course. Welter can also decently play hidden, and you also got those gimmicky specialists, such as Markram, for example, very terrifying player in those gimmicky maps. So, yeah, they really cover basically every skill set, but noticeable strength in the hard rock. Also, noticeable third place on Nomad 3 in the qualifiers. So, maybe you want to avoid alt as well.
Yeah. There's a lot to avoid when you're fighting against the high-seeded team, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
what are you gambling on today, Mannheimer Among Us?
Maybe they could go with the hidden map. They do have some decently good hidden players. Shiragi was basically the hidden specialist for the 4-digit World Cup Germany roster. Of course, Germany didn't go very far in that tournament, but at least on the qualifiers, they did have a decent one. So, and hidden, most notably the reading. Then again, you're going up against Markram, so maybe not. But you know, it's gonna be hard. But they're gonna have to come up with something as we are getting into the ban phase.
Yeah, so Bobik immediately having Scroll roll a 100, just all but guaranteeing themselves their choice of banner pick, and they're going to pick the ban order first ban for Bobik, and Mannheimer Among Us is going to go ahead and go for the second pick, which is very interesting for a low-seeded team. I feel, at least personally, like, if you're a low-seeded team, it is a little more beneficial to have the first pick because it means that if you can just get that 1 point, if you can just get that low SR going, it means that you get 1 extra pick. So what Mannheimer Among Us is actually counting on is basically having the last stay, which also a valid strategy. I'm not sure how good it is for a low-seeded team, but you know, they obviously know more things about their team than I do.
Yeah, definitely. I would say questionable, but at the very least, original strategy going up against a much higher seeded team. So we are waiting for those picks. As you pointed out, quite the dominant role on the side. So I hope this is not an accurate representation of how the match is going to go, because otherwise it's looking pretty bad. But then again, I'm usually rooting for the underdog, so I'm at least hoping for 1 or 2 points on Mannheimer's side.
Yeah, you gotta believe. You know what? Could be a sweep from Mannheimer. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, Osu is a game full of surprises. We always see exciting matchups. And the storytelling sometimes shines on the lower seeded team. So why not? Why not after all? And yeah. This definitely is probably, despite how unfavorable the matchup is looking, this probably is for them the best time to face a high-seeded team like this, because with the lower star rating, that's where you increase your chances of hitting point in turn 4. Because when you look at the difference in scoring on every single map in the qualifiers, it's kind of an ouchie. It doesn't really look particularly close, but I trust those German players. I know that some of them are very consistent on their respective skill sets, so I'm having my fingers crossed for a miracle, and we are seeing Nomad ban coming out of Scroll. And Nomad 4 is the closest map by far that was those 2 teams, and the gap was still 500k in favor of Bobik, so not exactly particularly close, but it was a lot closer than most other maps of qualifiers between these 2 teams. And the Nomad 3 ban coming from Mannheimer Among Us, so yeah. It was basically either that or a hard rock ban.
Yeah, as you said again, the ult is really hard to play in this position. Not only is it just like difficult against the team at large, but there's also those game control elements that can really throw off your game against such a talented aim control team. So trying to get rid of it absolutely makes sense, and Bobik are going to go straight into a pick of double time 1. Immediately going for AR 10.3, 6.64 star aim at 228 BPM. It's pretty fast for a round of 32 pick.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, but it's a very conventional DT1 map. So basically, it's your typical AR-1013 classic aim DT consistency map. A bit of bursts as well, as you tend to see in those more recent DT1s, but very conventional, pure mechanics. So on paper, yeah, definitely a good opening pick for Bobik, but it's, in my humble opinion, one of the easiest maps in this map pool. So you're never really safe from a surprise upset, but yeah, looking at their roster, a pick that makes sense.
Yeah, what I like about the A maps is you can always tell which ones are easy by their star rating. So if DT1 matches the Nomad 1 star rating, it's probably a little easier than average. And in this case, it does. 6.62 stars on the DT1 in a 6.6 star pool. Actually, they literally have the same star rating. Oh, sorry. Nope. They're off by 0.02. Either way, like, it's very close. I was going off of complete memory. I may or may not have been looking at Twitter.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and say that you were pixel perfect because it was really close.
Yep, I think 4 is close enough to 2.
Anyway, we are seeing the Glux in the chat. We are getting into this match and hoping to see at least a close point. I think the Germans can pull off a decent roster. It is going to be on this first map for Team Mannheimer, Minoji, Petit, Mort, and Lion, facing Antonio, Skrull, Lexu, and RabGPO.
Yeah, here we go. What an intro. This feels like a great intro for a tourney match, honestly. Immediately seeing misses from Lexus and Petty, as well as Mort. It is the intro section. Oh, Lion as well. Actually, sorry. All of Mannheimer Among Us has found breaks already. Again, though, it is the intro. This isn't like your big score loss area, and they have the time to pull it back, but no, they're gonna want to see some breaks from Boba for sure.
Not the greatest opener for Mannheimer. Still 3 full combos on Bobik's side. Early miss from Legzu. And we did see some accuracy drops early on in the map, most notably on the left side by Squirrel, but he is starting to rebuild. And the Germans are slowly but surely stabilizing those combos and those accuracies. They're still steadily behind, but if we were to see a drop, and there it is, a drop from FGPO on the left side, and Skrull. Wait a second, this could go towards the right pretty quickly.
Yeah, right before a slower section too. No, this isn't the least intense in the world. Mort's gonna go down, but a trade with FGPO, you'll love to see it. Mannheimer Among Us now holding that combo advantage, slowly bringing the score lead back through this second verse. And if they can hold on through the next TI, they have got a pretty good point ahead of them.
It is the full combo on Antonio, the backup combo on Lexu with the early miss against 3 recoveries. Oh, but Petit drops. That's not what you needed. Oh, this really rough miss and barely crossed the halfway point of the map, so a big score loss on Petit, unfortunately. Still 2 big combos on the right side. And Antonio and Lion trade, now it's only Minoji against Legzu, but the recoveries on Skrull and RabGP are gonna edge it out more on the left side.
Especially with a Minoji break right at the end of the TI. That was the last jump you needed to worry about.
Hey, I mean, it is Bobik's pick. It is Bobik's pick. So
it's Bobik's pick. It's Bobik's pick. But you know, I'm a believer. It is what it is.
Yeah, Legzu picking up the slack with this amazing recovery after his early miss, and Skrull and RabGPO with the decent recoveries. Basically, no combo other than Mort on the German side. Sadly, it's not going to be an early breakpoint. However, it's all good. It was Bobik's opening pick, and might I say, a lot closer than what I expected for Bobik's opening pick in this matchup.
Yeah, a really great showing, and honestly, with how early the breaks were from Mannheimer Among Us, if just one of those players held on, they probably had about a 50k difference. Yeah. So that was like ludicrously close, just the difference of one miss aim, basically.
Yeah, we see very consistent scores on Mannheimer Among Us' side, with 2 700Ks, a 600, and high 500. So definitely not 4th playered on this map. They had a big potential. Sadly for them, it's going to be a first point, for Bobik, but only the beginning of the match. I think, considering how this map went, there is a decent opportunity for Mannheimer to score at least 1 point against Bobik.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's just see what their opening pick is going to be, what they are going to retaliate with. Maybe not looking too much into mechanics. They did lose the DT1, but maybe they'll show higher consistency on this Snowbot 1. Then again, this Snowbot 1 is a bit more awkward. It's it's more the awkward side than your conventional Snowbot 1 map, so maybe not. It's mostly a conventional map pool, but with some surprises. So for those who haven't seen the map pool showcase, you prepare to be surprised on some of these picks.
Yeah, but here's the real surprise: it's Snowbot 2 for Mannheimer Among Us. You know, yeah, you said like no mechanics. They said all mechanics on this one.
Yeah.
It's low aim. It's 180 BPM streams. It is the most mechanical I've ever seen a mechanics map get. Really.
Oh yeah, and the thing with this Snowbot 2 is the BPM is probably not too unreachable even for teams that are not particularly strong in tapping. You know, like the 180 BPM is not too scary, but then you look at those streams and you look at the flow aim requirements to play this map. It is insane. Undoubtedly one of the hardest maps of this map pool. You can see such a high chain miss potential on this map, and it can get really bad. So I really hope they know what they're doing, that they're very consistent on this map, because if they are, it's probably decent potential to score a point against Bobik. Like, you expect a chain miss on the opposing side, and there you got your point. But if they're just slightly lacking consistency, it's going to look pretty bad pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's definitely a scary pick, but I mean, with something like this will compound on you with nerves, right? If there's a time to pick Bear Fluck, it's right at the beginning, before you really get into the thick of the match.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I do like this pick at the end of the day. Like, if we're gonna die, we'd rather die right here than when we're like facing a match point. Here we go into the map. As you said, potentially the hardest map in the pool. Such difficult flow and mechanics that you just find so many chain misses on. The thing with Snowbot 2 is it's going to take a while for us to see some red on the drain, but once we do, it won't really stop.
And we do see one trade each in terms of players. Growl subbing out for Welter, and Shiragi coming on the German side. Minoji is going to find the first miss on this lower part. Not what you want to see. It's still very early in the map, but this map is fairly short. Petit now following with another miss on Minoji, and is only 2 full combos to 4 now. Great accuracy on both Lion and Shiragi, but on the other side, you just look at it and, oh man. Oh no. Oh, fuck.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's just Banjo being a little silly.
Yeah, I thought it was a disconnect, so this is reassuring, but still the solid advantage for Team Bobik so far. 4 full combos, and is that, whoa, that is a massive chain miss on Minoji, sadly, and Petit as well, not finding their footing on this map. Welter being the first one to miss, but it is straight by Lion and not only Shiragi with the outstanding accuracy, but matching, unfortunately, against 3 full combos. 1 on Rap GPO with outstanding accuracy as well.
Yeah, it's very scary. We're in the last quarter of the map down with 3 full combos left. Shiragi, you can try as you might, but you need like chain miss miracles times 3 to make it.
Oh,
there's a start, but Shiragi trades it. It's so unfortunate.
It's only Antonio. And Antonio in this match actually got the second highest score on DT1. Is he going to get it? The insane performance on Nomad 2, the insane accuracy, Antonio still doing it. It's looking so likely right now. The last patterns of the map, and he is hitting every single one. No, the chain miss on the last stream. Antonio with the 6 miss, 99.13 accuracy, and a spectacular combo that is, but sadly not the full combo. And yeah, we did get a great performance from Shiragi, and a great score on Lion as well. 600k on this map is no joke, but sadly the consistency was a bit lacking on the German side, and that is going to be a first break point in favor of Bobik. Now up 2-0.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary for Mannheimer Among Us. The interesting thing about picking second pick in a best of 9 match is that they actually, even from this point where they've only played 2 maps, they actually only have 1 guaranteed pick left.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're really praying for a breakpoint here against Bobik on Bobik's pick. Otherwise, they have to lock in in their next pick.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Bobik is going to go straight for the DP3. Keep it mechanics, but keep it speed.
Yeah, so this is actually probably not the speediest DT3 you've ever seen. Like, it's got some bursts, it's 250 BPM, so fairly fast, of course, but it is a very, very short map, first of all, and it's also got quite a finger control aspect, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this German roster is probably not the best speed roster you've seen either, but I don't know if there's an opportunity for a breakpoint here, but it is a very explosive map, so if you don't get into it right away, you could chain this and just have a terrible time for an entire minute.
Yeah, there's a little habit casters have of saying whenever the map is 2 minutes or shorter, like, oh hey, it's short, so if you miss, you just don't have the time to recover. It's absolutely true on a map this short.
Yeah,
1
very.
minute, 60 seconds that you have. One miss basically kills the run. You don't have the time for like the mental recovery, for the physical recovery. Like, you just kind of die.
Yeah, it's definitely your super explosive performance you're going to be looking for in this match, and particularly on this map. So, and as you said earlier, the fact that they chose to pick second means they only have one guaranteed pick after that. So, yeah, if they want to stay alive in this matchup, they definitely need that breakpoint, and they definitely need an amazing performance on the following pick, because it's only up 2-0, but it's best of 9, so it goes fairly fast. It's like all of a sudden you lose one map. It's like you lose one pick and you're down 3-0, and it's just not a great start for the mental either. We're gonna get into this map very shortly. Good luck, have fun, and be awake for the map. As you said, very, very explosive, and the speediest map in the map pool, arguably, so I hope your fingers are warmed up, because here we go, third pick of the map, TT3. Shiragi, Minoji, Petit, and Line, this core roster we've been seeing so far in this matchup on Mannheimer's side. Really miss on Minoji's side. And already in big act drop from Minoji. I think probably a fourth player syndrome, sadly, on the German side. Welter is going to trade, though. Welter instant wow, actually. That's now
huge combo drops. It's a lead for Mannheimer among us.
Yeah, it is a lead. It's only Minoji dropping, and Welter trades again. Grab GPO, but Shiragi and Petit, it's now only Line and Lexu battling it out on the FCs.
So huge. Lexu's accuracy, though, is not the greatest. 89% against 96. Lion has a huge advantage, but they need to hold the combo a little bit longer. We're still at the last quarter of the map. There's about 15 seconds left to go.
It is so close.
It's not that much, but it's so nerve-wracking.
It is so close. Shiragi and Welter trade. The recoveries are slightly higher in terms of combos on Bobik's side. And Lexu is holding for dear life for this point, and Line is fighting as much as he can, but sadly the recovery are not there. And is going to be a point for Bobik. Once again, a really close point on Bobik's pick. Much closer, in fact, than Mannheimer's first pick. And that is an amazing performance on Line with this full combo. Sadly, not enough to carry his team, but he sure did fight for it. And Lexu casually dropping the A-Rank FC.
Wow, that was really, really good. Two FCs, but yeah, the accuracy difference is crazy. And what's even crazier is that the higher accuracy player, their team still had a 200k deficit. It's tough out here. It's war out here.
Oh man, the DT is probably not as one-sided as we expected between these two teams, but a point is a point, and Bobik is up 3-0 now. I still applaud Mannheimer Among Us for the very close fights on both of Bobik's picks so far.
Yeah, no, it's been very surprising. Like, you don't expect this on the high seed team picks in the high. This kind of start first round high versus low seed match. It's very refreshing to see, honestly. To see that fight put up. Mannheimer Among Us again. This is the last pick that they're guaranteed. Should they lose the next few picks, the match is just kind of over. So they have to be very careful about what they pick here. They need this to be like a slam dunk kind of pick.
Yeah, exactly. It's either the turning point of the match or it's basically it. And it is going to be hidden 1 coming out of the Germans. Hidden 1. Probably not the easiest pick. It's very, very shit missable. It's your typical awkward aim map, you know, on your hidden 1 skill set. Awkward aim consistency, and you also have a few flowing stream transition patterns that can really trip you up, and a really big spike at the end, so you're definitely going to look for this consistency plays on your team, because this is a pretty unforgiving map if you're not completely comfortable in the skill set.
Yeah. Been interesting. This has not been the pick strategy that I think we expected, right? It's been like, let's pick into the harder maps. Let's pick into stuff that we're really confident on the skill set, more so than the difficulty. It's very interesting to see from Low-C team.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go as far as to say that Hidden 1 is up there with the hardest maps in football, but it's definitely not one of the easiest either.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good representation of this average difficulty in this first round 32 pool. A lot easier in terms of star rating than the qualifiers, but you definitely get a lot of those consistency-based maps that are really trip you up if you're not completely focused. You find a sad shit miss, unfortunately, in the middle of the map. That is basically it. And yeah, it's I would agree with you. It's pretty risky at this point of the match to go for a map like Hidden 1, but then again, they're pretty much running out of possibilities, and both Hard Rocks are still open. And reminder, Bobik is a really strong Hard Rock team, so it's basically do or die here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, no moment like the present for this team. They have to make this count. I believe that's just a tourney client issue, not showing 1 player. I don't think the match was... Okay, never mind. The match started with 7 players.
Yeah, we got an abort, so Petit, pretty happy to see that in those first 2 seconds they were doing better than the opposing team. That is, you know, that could be a small bento boost. You abort after 5 seconds and you see that you were winning.
Hey, I mean, the game said that they won. That's all I'm saying. Their O2 window said blue team wins. So you know what? Maybe that's a prophecy.
It is 3-1. GG. Here we go again. 10 seconds. And we are going to be going to this 4th map. Afterlife of Bandmate. Pretty big banger. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a custom map. Yeah, it is. Custom map.
Yeah.
Custom map, as you will find so many in this epic tournament.
Yeah, there are so many. Those with access to the mapping staff server know there is an absurd amount of custom beat maps for this tournament.
And we are going to see a very early drop on Mort's side, and I believe this is his first appearance in the match, and I expect a good performance on his side.
Mort did play Nomad 2.
Alright, my bad. And so on the other side, Lexus, Prowl, Raptipio, Antonio. Antonio has been playing everything, and that has actually been playing really well. Very fearsome player on those earlier pools. Very high consistency. He has been a noticeable player for the Spanish roster in OWC, and we do see these first drops on the left side. Lexu and Raptipio dropping on the first guy, and is now a decent combo advantage for Mannheimer Among Us. But Petit is going to drop, and Shiragi as well is going to follow. Sadly, it's not only 2 combos. Line with the Line still holding on the FC actually. The second FC, and no.
Oh, that's so worrying. It's Mort alone against Scroll and Antonio. That's so scary, but Antonio's gonna go down with pretty significant misses as well. It's just Scroll holding an FC, the only person in the lobby now. Mort needs to see those support combos start building up to fight off against it, but Petty's gonna find a miss. And Mort as well. Oh no.
And that is not looking good. We are now reaching the halfway point in the map, and Mort is dropping once again, and this humongous combo on Sproul, as you pointed out, with those recoveries on Lexu and RapGPO now, definitely putting the lead far in favor of Team Bobik. And again, they have looked a lot more comfortable on the opponent's picks, actually, than on their own. And yeah, triple miss on Mannheimer, Lion, Petit, and Mort. It is now basically only Shiragi with the semblance of combo to fight all three of Skral, RapGPO, and Antonio's combos. It is looking very, very bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
nerves
Scroll
are
with the
really
Sheamus,
getting
though.
to him. Yeah, that Sheamus would be pretty big
Antonio
if we weren't
legs
seeing
through.
Sheamuses everywhere else,
Oh, but
but there's
Shiragi.
no combo to fight off against these breaks. Even with Raph breaking, it just means that
Wow.
we're locked at a 300k difference now. Not that they can start taking it back. There just isn't the combo for Mannheimer Among Us. Even in this last GI, I hate to say it, but there just isn't enough that they can do.
It's unfortunate because that solo claimed every single combo on Team Bobik, so if someone like Mort or Lion had managed to hold through that solo and that second Kai earlier before, it would have been probably a lot closer, but unfortunately, again, double drop on Petit and Mort. And their scores are all fairly close, and you see this consistency, but sadly just not the comfort they needed on this map to get this point against Bobik.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because this was the last pick they had guaranteed to their name. They need to win a breakpoint in order to get another pick at all. You know, that's kind of what I was suggesting. Like, you kind of have to take the first pick here if you're the lower seeded team because you need that safety of being able to just guarantee that we at least will have the same number of picks, if not more. And in the case of Mannheimer Among Us, they do not have the same number of picks at all. They have one less guaranteed pick. So very, very scary situation to be in. That they have to play what is potentially the last map on the opponent's pick.
Yeah, and it's really just they were lacking that one score that could match Skrowl's top score of the lobby. Very, very impressive score on Skrowl's side. Really, there's only one chain miss in the solo section. Antonio as well with the amazing accuracy, as we've seen multiple times now in this matchup. Matched pretty much by Shiragi's accuracy. Almost identical, but yeah, like you said, just this little bit of consistency that was lacking on Mannheimer's side, and it is now 4-0 with Bobik's pick to come, and we are probably going to see a Hard Rock map now, unless they really want to go DT2 and go all in on the double time maps, but it's...
Is that cool they pick Hard Rock too? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know what?
really
we got
nice.
a Resurrection Cup original song sitting there in Hard Rock. Okay, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah, him too. Reading abuse. I don't know if Team Mannheimer are really fourth player syndrome on that map, but the reading aspect is, you know, in most matchups, when one team has a significant advantage on the other, you will see that reading pick, a gimmick pick coming from the high-seeded team because they will always have specialists that can destroy these maps. And on Bobik's side, I'm definitely going to look at Markram, given that he's there, of course. I'm definitely going to look at Markram's score. Skral, of course, as well. Fairly proficient. Skral, of course, is an all-rounder, so he can play everything. Welter as well. And on German side, I don't really know. Garaki is definitely going to play this map. No custom song. Yeah, we see it in chat. A bit of bitterly disappointment because, yeah, that map is really cool. The song is really cool. Yeah, man, I want to believe because both of Bobik's picks were really close in terms of scores, but sadly, Mannheimer really struggling on their own picks and really came to bite them.
Yeah.
We are leaving behind the DT aspect now. It's fully gimmick picks, so I don't know if it's going to be quite as close as it was on both DT picks.
It's gonna be scary for sure. You do not want to play Hidden 2 at the end of a match. It's so terrifying. I mean, Hidden 1 you kind of saw as the nerves came through and the mental sort of shifted, players started to chain this more, like, that compounds on you in a Hidden 2, right? Like, low AR Hidden is pretty brutal once you find that one miss and you get nervous, like, oh, I need to build up supporting combo right now, and then you start chain missing everywhere, and then you've just lost it all.
Yeah.
So it's so scary.
Yeah, and on those consistency maps especially, it's really that split second where you lose focus and it's all over. You lose your combo, and as you said, you lose your map. And so we are seeing a Shiragi, Mort, Petit, and Lion. I believe the exact same roster that they pulled it out in 1. And we are going to see, in fact, Markram coming in for his first map of the match, and maybe his last, as we are already seeing drops on both sides, RapGPO and more trading, and Petit as well. So it is 3 full combos to 2 in this intro. And yeah, the reading aspect is really coming to bite you when you see those perfect stacks that are really, really tricky to read.
Yeah. These kind of stable patterns of Chinese mapping that are actually really, really good for reading. You're seeing Petty not having a good time at all. It's the chain misses, right? It's that sort of, I don't want to call it a mental boom, but it's kind of what it feels like, you know, watching it, right? It's so difficult to keep that combo once you found that first miss, and it's only Petty finding these drops. More gonna find a second drop as well. There's no trade there. Okay, there goes RapGPO, but they need one more combo trade to balance it out. Given that they've had 2 players, there goes Scroll.
That's a start. Scroll. Antonio is missing as well. It is now 2 full combos. Combo advantage actually going back to Mannheimer among us. But yeah, those square awkward patterns and those flow transition patterns are so tricky, and Markram is still hitting it. And Line, unfortunately, chain misses on the stream, and it is now only Shiragi to match Markram's full combo.
Yeah, and now at this break, players crucially can see the scores. They can see the crown is pointed towards the red team, and they can see that Shiragi is the only hope that Mannheimer Among Us has left to fight off against Markram. They need Markram to find a break. They need Shiragi to hold on for all he's got. In the last quarter of the map we go, but Shiragi finds a miss.
Markram trades, but unfortunately Shiragi needed to hold because he simply did not have the recoveries, whereas Markram still has Scroll and Antonio backing him up. RapGPO had recovered a little bit as well, and is now only a little tiny bit of combo on Petit and Line, but not nearly enough to come back. Nearly the 300k difference. And I believe this is going to be it, sadly. The opportunity was there, but sadly the nerves getting to Shiragi, and can we really blame him? I don't think we can. He had the break to see. He was the only hope for his team, and he did pull out the second highest score in the lobby. And when you look at the players present on this map, that is more than honorable as a performance. So, yeah, that is going to be it. It is going to be a 5-0 sweep for Team Bobik, but Mannheimer Among Us not going down without a fight. On several of these maps, it was very close.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreline speaks a story of an incredibly dominant one-sided match, but I would say the truth of this match was a very, very interesting, kind of unexpected match where Bobik's picks, the picks of the higher-seeded team, were actually the most contested. And the lower-seeded team really put up a fight. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get a single point, but they certainly got damn close, and it was still a very exciting match nonetheless. It's rare that you have a match this good with a seeding difference this stark.
Oh yeah,
but it was great.
I definitely would agree on that. Very, very good match. Yeah, and a bit of paradox. It's like their own picks were not that close or decisive, but they came so close to taking breakpoints at several points in the match, and that's really, really the spectacle you want to see coming from the underdog lower-seeded team. So, yeah, Team Mannheimer going down the loser's bracket. It's not over quite yet for them.
Yeah. Now that is the end of this match, but don't worry, of course, it's the weekend. Every match in the world is now streaming on twitch.tv. Next match is in just 22 minutes. So stick around. We're just going to be streaming matches like all weekend, basically. Like I know we got one in 22 minutes. We got one in 20 UTC. We got a ton tomorrow.
Especially,
yeah.
Especially don't miss the next one. It is going to be Team kotomiler, Team 1, the massive powerhouse in this tournament. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to tune in for this one, seeing those superstar players playing on this lower star rating pool. And I believe I will be back at 22 UTC in the company of Crystal.
I've been thinking of doing 20 UTC. I haven't decided yet, but who knows?
20 UTC is 22 in my time. My bad. And yeah, well, that'll be it for this match. Taikani, thanks a lot for casting this with me. I really, really enjoyed it, and thank you everybody for watching. It was a great matchup.
Yeah, Wasn't that beautiful? Takahiro BGM as we fade out here. Thank you all for watching. It has been a great match. It has been great to cast with you for the first time, as I meant to a year ago, so a little bit late.
Yeah, it took a year, but we got there. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. Looking forward to doing the test with you again.
Of course. Anyways, yeah, make sure you stick around 20 minutes for the next match. We'll see you a little bit later.
Yo さすらいのガンダーここのハンターコンティニューさつきは誰だお前の番だ SOS チェックとデスセスポッポッと突っ立てればサーバンですナイスアタックナイスディフェンス必要なのはそうサバイバルのセンスよいくよいくよ Here we go here we go アイスコメイクでお前がヒーロー
「 ほらほらタキタキつだらけばりバナと知りつつも前足でパンチこのや ヤフォンで聞き飽きた曲がそのリピートと交代するように気にしないでなんて言わないで本当はいつも正直じゃないけど気がついてよなんて言えなくてそればかり惚れたいな赤じゃぎゅっとハマる君の交差点変わりたいな気持ちもっとブルー飲み干すからだ認めたいな言わなくとかなり義理の通過で変わりたいな気持ちもっと言えろちょい危ないね惚れたい